Hey, good to see you. Thank you for clicking on the thumbnail and watching this video. Don't forget, hit the like button, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe button too. Help me grow this channel, it'll be greatly appreciated, that's for sure. So, this is gonna be the first storytelling time with that pocket knife guy. And we're not talking pocket knives. Tonight, I'm gonna tell you guys a story about me accidentally catching a baby stingray, and then the baby stingray sticking me with its stinger, which was crazy. So let's get into it. So out here in Florida, of course, fishing the Gulf of Mexico, Tampa Bay, salt water. I do mostly live bait. I do throw some artificial too if I'm in the boat, but usually it's live bait. So if you don't buy live shrimp or live bait, you can use a rig. It's called a zabiki rig. And a zabiki rig is basically, of course, a line, and it's got anywhere from 8 to 12 hooks, baby hooks. Some of them will have a little feather on each hook, and basically you just toss that out and bring it back, and you catch little bait fish. So it's a great, inexpensive way to catch bait fish. Well, we used to have a house on the water, and actually our backyard was in St. Petersburg, so our backyard had a 200-foot seawall in our backyard. It was crazy, beautiful. But anyways, you could see from St. Petersburg all the way to Tampa across the bay. So it was quite the house. But that was, past tense. Anyways, so I'm sitting there, and I'm fishing by myself. It's kind of later in the evening. My wife and son had went in the house, and I was still fishing. So I had ran out of live bait, so I grabbed my pole that already had the zabiki rig on it, and I tossed it out. Well, bringing it in, trying to get little bait fish, a baby stingray hit it. And when I say a baby, the body of the stingray was like a small paper plate, not the big paper plate, the next one. So I don't know, maybe about a 7-inch diameter baby stingray. Tail's about that long. Now let me say this. I've caught literally probably 100, if not more, stingray. I've handled them, no problems. Big, which I was going to show you. Got a little scrapbook here. So you look here, and that's my buddy Jibby, and that's a big one. Okay, so then here's a picture of me holding 2 smaller ones. And yeah, this was a long time ago. It's from that picture, as you can see. This was, that was the early 2000s anyway. So, anywho, so I'm sitting down, and I threw out the zabiki rig and bring it in, and I catch myself a little stingray. Well, the wife's coming out. I've got this little stingray, so she comes out and she's wanting to look at it with her phone, and she's looking at it. And out of all those stingrays I caught, and what I had thought, because I never saw a stingray eject or spike anything or anybody, I always assumed you had the tail. I always thought the spike was, towards the bottom of the tail, because they always say shuffle your feet when you walk. So I thought it was at the bottom of the tail underneath it, and it would smack you. And I thought that's how you got stung by the stinger. Well, lo and behold, the stinger, which again, I didn't know, which I should have known because I've fished all my life, the stinger comes out of the very end. Like if this is the tail, the stinger comes out of the very end, and it comes out like a stiletto. It doesn't come out like a switchblade, it comes out like a stiletto. It's just like that, okay? So My wife is standing here and she's, oh, look how cute it is. It was small, you guys, and it's on the hook. And I'm holding the line like this. Well, you see its tail, and its tail starts doing this. And I swear it happened in slow motion. It was like the tail, now I'm holding it like this, right? So here's the fish. The tail's going like this, like it was looking. That tail got right here, and my wife is right here. She's 2 feet away. So that, you know, the stingray's here. I'm holding the line. The stingray's right here, and the tail's like this. And it got right there, and all of a sudden, the blade came out. And when it came out, it went in here, underneath my skin, and back out here. Okay, so it literally pierced me. And she's right here, and it happened in slow motion. Like I said, the tail was like it was looking. And as soon as it saw the palm, my palm, it was right there, and then the blade came out and just went. I was like, and it stuck on me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Did that just happen? Did that happen? Well, it happened. See this picture? So as you see, it went in there, or maybe it went in there and came out there, okay? So it got me. Look how swollen it is. And that was seconds after we got it out. And that was, because this is the picture from the phone, February 16th, 2014. Here's another shot. Right? So that's from the stingray. That was February 14th. Looky here. I got an eyeball on top of my hand. Can you see that date? February 16th. In 2 days, that's what happened. That's what it looked like. Let me tell you, man. Here's what it looks like now. It's right there. You know, and it's crazy because I've handled so many stingrays. We would cut the stingray wings off, use the wings for shark, which was what people do, you know, sacrifice the stingray to get you a big shark. So, anyways, that's my attack of the baby stingray story. And boy, it put the hurting on me. So, you know, thank you guys for sticking around and listening. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I got a lot of stories to tell you guys if this works out. A lot of it is fishing, a lot of it's other things, but, you know, we used to fish so much. We owned boats, and then when we didn't own a boat, we were in boat clubs, so you had access to a full fleet. Whether you wanted to go bass fishing in a lake, you could take one of the bass boats. If you wanted a pontoon boat because you have family in town, you just want to go cruise intercoastal, well, then you would take a pontoon boat. If you wanted to go water skiing and or getting towed behind the boat, you know, on a knee board or an inner tube, then you would take one of those pleasure boats. And if you wanted to go fishing, you would take the fishing vessels. So it was cool. You didn't have to deal with, you know, towing the boat down there and all that other stuff, which, you know, they do say boat stands for break out another 1,000, you know, and that's the truth. So, you know, like I said, we've owned boats. We had a liveaboard, 5 people, I believe it could handle, 32-foot cuddy cabin. That was a nice boat, you know, full galley, all that stuff, but a lot of work. Plus, in Florida on the Gulf of Mexico side, a lot of the fishing is intercoastal shallow waters. So, of course, got rid of that boat pretty quick. But that's it, guys. Thanks for listening to my story. And we'll see you again with more stories. And remember what we like to say over here. What's in your pocket?